Am I supposed to talk now? I'm on the radio. No, I'm on the podcast, the Don Miller Podcast. I'm screaming and hollering as usual, and I am screaming and hollering tonight more than ever before. Listen, I've been talking about a lot of things as it relates to the division in the conversation, the division in American politics, and we just saw something horrible happen this weekend. And I just want to say this, and really, I want to say this. First of all, I got to shout out my 6'3.5" shawty over there, D'Amica Page.
What's up?
That's my 6'3.5" shawty. D'Amica Page been with me for a long ass time, and she continues to support the Don Miller Show movement. We thought it was a moment, but now it's looking like a movement. You know what I mean? We thought this was a moment, but it's looking like a movement now. We getting some traction. I got stopped the other day by a lady at the filling station. Remember they used to call it a filling station, a gas station? I stopped by a lady say, I just want to tell you, young man, you just keep on doing what you do because what y'all doing is the work of the Lord. Now, I said to myself, I don't know if it's the work of the Lord because I don't know if the Lord works with you when you on that monkey shoulder. But, ma'am, thank you so much.
I'm glad you know that.
I just want to thank you so much. I don't know if the Lord works with you when you on that monkey shoulder, but I'm going to keep on keeping on. But again, this weekend was a very tragic point in America. And I get it, the emotion that is happening right now with the political arena. A lot of people are emotional about it. And I just want people we all need to do ourselves a favor. For nobody else, do ourselves a favor and step back. Step back and do a self-check. And I'm going to spend some time on both sides of this. I'm going to spend some time on the conservative side of this conversation. We need to step back and do a self-check, okay? And we need to step back and do a self-check. And let me tell you why I say this. Because we getting ready to be jammed up.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you why I say we getting ready to be jammed up. This is very important, okay?
Jesus.
Let me tell you why we getting ready to be jammed up. Because y'all emotional. And ain't nothing good gonna come out of emotion. You ever been in a badass relationship and you get arrested because you was emotional? Mm-hmm. And you did something you shouldn't have did because you was emotional. You go, I don't know if any of y'all went to talk to anybody in jail. Y'all know how many people in jail who reacted in an emotional moment? All of them. Every damn one of them. And I am saying we got to pull back because the divisiveness in this country is at a level I've never seen it at. I go back to 1968, the Chicago Democratic Convention. Mayor Richard J. Daley was the mayor. It was a crazy-ass moment in American politics. LBJ decided during the convention that he did not want to stay in the race. And he took his name out during the convention. So you got Spiro Agnew, Hubert Humphrey, Richard Nixon, and a bunch of other people. But at the same time this was going on, America, people were angry about what was happening in Vietnam. So a bunch of people came to Chicago at the same time, angry about a war and angry about a political discourse moment. And the shit hit the fan. And then Mayor Richard Daley came to the microphone. I remember this vividly, Phil. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Phil. D'Amica Page, thank you so much. Also with us today is Lil Sean, man. You've heard Lil Sean on the Don Miller Show. That Lil Sean right there, little light-skinned ass Sean. He light-skinned. Let me just say this. Mayor Richard J. Daley, 1968 Democratic Convention, what became a cluster F in Chicago. And this is what he said. I guess I should have queued that up.
Kill any arsonist or anyone with a Molotov cocktail in their hand in Chicago to fire a building because they're potential murderers.
Okay, now watch this. That's what he said in April of the same year that the Democratic Convention was in Chicago. Now we got to remember That was the most tumultuous year in assassinations in American history. We lost Dr. King, and we lost RFK, and we had the Democratic Convention converge on Chicago, where prior to that convention, several hundred Black Panthers were arrested and held until the convention was over because of the intel said that they may disrupt. But it was a bunch of ass white people who travel from these campuses who's disrupted. The point I make right now, we don't need to revisit that. Next month in Chicago, the Democratic Convention goes back there. Within 4 hours of Chicago, the largest concentrations of Palestinian Americans in America, Dearborn, Michigan, in that region. And now you got a bunch of black people, D'Amica, who are really pissed off at the Democratic Party and the level of disdain that they have for Joe Biden and the games that he's played with allowing illegal immigrants to come into their communities and move into facilities and get money that they have been waiting for historically is at an all-time high.
Absolutely.
What we are seeing today is the cusp of shit show. Now, last Saturday, the alleged 20-year-old boy leaves his home and goes to a Trump rally and climbs on top of a roof and fires randomly, attempting to murder Donald Trump. 2 people lost their lives, innocent people who just wanted to go and engage in the lively art of political engagement. And then we start to find out day after day the level of shit show that it was. Today, news comes out that they had eyes on the assassin an hour before.
What?
How does that happen? Then they tell us that he just randomly left his house and he went. Listen, guys, somebody dropped the ball. And I am not here today to point the finger, but I've been around the Secret Service more times than I can count. Secret Service don't drop the ball like that. But they have a new person in charge whose focus has been on DEI since she landed there. The new director of the Secret Service was a former detail person for the Bidens when he was vice president. I think she ran the vice president's wife's detail, which means she had to go deal with, what's his name, and his crack-ass addictions, Hunter.
Hunter Biden.
So she retires after 27 years at the Secret Service, gets an amazing job that I've known people who've been chiefs of police didn't get. Global head of security for Pepsi and the snack companies that they own. And then after that, she comes back as the director of the Secret Service, which is a presidential appointment. First of all, it should never be a presidential appointment. A lot of jobs you can let the president appoint. You can let all appoint all these fake-ass ambassadors. But the Secret Service should not be a presidential. We need a lifer. We need a guy who's worked for the government, who's been there, who's dug in, who understands how it works. But again, this is where we are. I can understand any American right now who's angry as hell about what we saw the other day. That could have turned the tide in this country, Sean.
Yeah, if he didn't turn his head.
That could have turned the tide in this country, Phil. I know there are a lot of people. And then Senator Marsha Blackburn, the senator from Tennessee, just posted on Twitter, X, she said she got off a briefing with the Secret Service and the FBI, and she was appalled to learn the Secret Service knew about the threat prior to the president going on the stage. She said she has no confidence in the leadership of the Secret Service, Director Cheadle, and believes that it is in the best interest of the nation for her to step down. This is the sitting Senator Marsha Blackburn from Tennessee. Now, let me just say this, guys. I've been following social media, especially the Negro element of such. Let me just repeat that for the people over there that didn't hear me. I've been following the Negro element of social media. Y'all need to shut down, shut up. Shut down and shut up. And let me tell you why. My buddy's brother, 24 years, working for the government. His clown ass got a wife and 3 kids. And he lived bigger than he is. And he posted on his social media the other day that I wish the guy hadn't missed. So yesterday they showed up at his desk after 24 years working for the government. And they took his ass on up out of there.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody's been getting fired. Left and right.
And they should. If you're dumb enough, if you're an idiot, this is idiotic.
Idiotic behavior.
Like, I'm a street dude with some suits, okay? I ain't gonna say nothing bad about it. Man, come on, dog. We're emotional, and our emotions getting the best of us. Your clown ass work for the government. How you work for how you GS-13 and you go right on the damn social media and say something, and they come and get you up out of it. His wife already mad at his ass. She was mad at him because his money ain't come to the house. I don't know what's going on. Them brother with them jump off bitches.
GS-13 classified.
Yeah, he GS-13. He got money ain't coming out. She know how much you make. You can Google government GS-13. Talking about he make 81. No, he don't. It's some kind of jump off out here getting the rest of that check, ma'am. Now his ass ain't got no job. You got 4 kids.
Sugar daddy.
Right? The fact of the matter is, have we just been driven into stupid, or we just walking freely into it?
Walking.
We just freely walking into stupid, right? The fact of the matter is, that was a frightening moment for me.
Absolutely.
It should have been a frightening moment for everybody in this country. Sean, what were you doing Saturday when you saw that? What first thing came over your head when you saw that?
I was like, oh, hell no. They didn't just...
Right.
I didn't believe it at first. I was like, all right, wait a minute. And then I started seeing other videos, and then I seen the blood or whatever. And I was like, at first, I was like, all right, cool. So the sun, was it fireworks? Was it this? Was it that? Was, after, a lot of people have fireworks this time of year.
Right.
So I was like, was it fireworks? Was it this? But then I seen on other videos, I seen, the blood and all that. And then you seen the comments coming.
D'Amica.
I was at a soccer game that I didn't want to be at.
I know. I text your ass 19 times. I don't know why you weren't responding.
I didn't have any.
I was like, D'Amica, please respond.
I didn't have any reception. So I'm asking other people. I'm like, hey, listen, check out, see what's happening.
Because I told you, I text you.
So, and they did. They pulled up a couple of articles, and I'm just stunned. And the people that I was with, it was just very nonchalant. Like, oh, okay. Like, as if they're surprised it hadn't happened earlier. Mm-hmm. So, like, I was very thrown off with their response. Mm-hmm. Because they are believers. Mm. So that made it even worse. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so people's response, in my opinion, has been really blowing my mind.
Yes.
I don't know that level of hatred that you can have for someone.
To want to watch somebody die.
Right.
And then take your black ass or white ignorant ass into a church the next day.
And say
Jesus saved me. Jesus ain't saved you. That's Jesus, Negro.
I'm actually
cracker ass.
I'm really baffled.
Tell you what I know, not what I heard.
I'm really baffled by that. And the fact that a father, I'm not going to say a father died covering his wife and his children.
Absolutely, yes.
Using his body as a shield to protect his family. And this is your response? Like, I'm just baffled at people's response. There's no level of hatred that I could have for someone to be so dismissive and mock the situation the way I've seen people do. So I have to be honest with you, Don. I'm just really surprised. I can't comprehend people's responses.
Okay, now this is what I said. Phil, I love you, bro. This is what I said the other day. Watch this. I called you. I told you this. I told Quetta Jean Johnson from the ridiculous ass Johnson family this. I think I told a few people this. I'm not going to lose friends over politics, but I'm sure getting ready to lose a bunch of people over ignorance. Ignorance is curable. Stupidity is forever. If you post or say some ignorant ass shit that you have not studied or can even provide a real basis for your conversation, I encourage you to leave me alone. I don't need people like that in my life right now. I'm telling you, ain't no benefit anyway.
Right.
I encourage you to leave me alone. I don't need those relationships. I don't care who you are or how you look. I'm not going to lose my friendship over political differences, but I'm sure the hell cutting ignorant people out of my life right now. I'm doing it. I got to do it, man, because this is bigger than politics. That man got a family too. You can disagree with him. You can hate him. Just like, look, I don't want nothing bad to happen to Joe Biden.
Absolutely. I
Ever.
agree.
Okay? I think Joe Biden should be somewhere in a home with a straw and some orange juice.
Because it's senior abuse.
No, it's definitely not okay, right? I don't think, I'm not going to wish something negative on Mr. President Biden. Why would I?
Come on, man.
Why would I, right? But the problem with these people who think it's okay because of political discourse, and they're all ignorant, and most of them ain't read a book. Most of them ain't read nothing. Most of them can't tell you the preamble of the Constitution of the United States. Can't tell you nothing about how the government works. So y'all need to just take y'all ignorant ass along and go over there and get in that food stamp line or get in that damn line to get something for free or hope COVID come back again so you can gang the COVID system. But you can get the hell away from Don Miller. I am not okay with wishing death on anybody. It ain't cool. And I don't want people around me who wish death on people.
I agree.
I deal with death every day.
I'm about to say a lot of people who are that insensitive is because they haven't experienced it.
Right.
Or the way we have
Right.
in our lives.
Right.
As well.
So again, go on with that nonsense. If your political differences have gotten you to a point where you want to see somebody die, spend a few minutes with me and tell me, because you probably ain't a registered voter or you don't even know what you're voting for. I had a dude tell me, I said, how long you been registered voter? I don't vote. Get your monkey ass somewhere and get a job. Right now. Don't talk to me. The reality of it is you don't even have to vote, but don't engage in the conversation. If you can't tell me eloquently, not on no side shit that somebody told you or you heard from somebody else, eloquently, why you dislike a certain particular politician, then go ahead. I don't need you in my life. I don't want to sit down and have a drink with you. If I'm sitting at the bar, sit somewhere else. I'm done. My motto, I told you guys this, D'Amica Page, Sean, I told Phil this 2 years ago when I was sitting my ass in the hot ass studio before he had air.
The orange room.
No new
Yes,
friends.
sir. I remember that.
No new friends. I'm telling you. Go ahead, me.
You know, when your politics supersedes humanity, your politics is no good at that point.
Not at all.
If it supersedes humanity, your politics is no good.
Right.
Your politics should always be about people. It should always be about people, the progress of people, the growth of people, the health of people. It should be about people. So if that supersedes the people, your politics is no good.
It is right now, but just a certain group of people.
It's not even good for the people
It's
that
not even good for them.
Because here's
They're bailing. They're
here's
trying to bail.
But here is Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
It's not even helpful to the people they claim that they support. Right. Because if it were, then they wouldn't want Joe Biden to continue. Because they can already see. You can see anybody in their right mind, let me say it again, in your right mind can see that he's not healthy. If you've been around any seniors who have dealt with dementia, Alzheimer's, any of that.
And think about this.
It's very clear.
So there are a lot of politicians feel that I'm watching all these people say that Donald Trump is an existential threat. So I know this guy, and I know this Negro ain't graduated from nowhere. So he's telling me the other day, we sitting out there smoking cigars. I don't even want to sit with his monkey ass. And he's like, Donald Trump is an existential threat. You an idiot. That ain't even what the word says. Who told you this?
He's extraterrestrial.
Yeah, he's an extraterrestrial threat, right?
Extraterrestrial.
Phil, let's watch how this has been the narrative. You got that for me, man?
Which one is this? Is
The
Maxine?
existential threat, man. It's like everybody, you can't say it. Don't repeat it. What is an what? He don't know. He's an extraterrestrial threat. I know he is.
Is it the Maxine Waters one or the other one?
It's the other one. Man, the point I make is this, guys. I get it. One candidate always wants to make the other candidate look like the worst candidate.
Of course.
But we have to stop scaring the shit out of the idiots in the country. You follow me? Okay? Hey, I disagree with your policy. No, I disagree with your policy. I disagree with your policy. You can even say you were having sex with other women. You were having sex with but when you start to use the name Hitler, and when you start to say threats to democracy. Then you wake up a subgroup in this country that already is not well. And this is what we get. So we got to be careful. I just have a good political fight. You're bad on policy. No, you're bad on policy. You slept with 4 women. No, you slept with 3. You were with a homosexual male back in 1967. No, I thought he was a woman. You know what I mean? Just stay on focus, right? The fact that when you start telling American idiots, and there's a whole bunch of them, with this whole new Donald Trump gonna put black people back in chains again. Remember that? Donald Trump's going to put black people in. First of all, we are in America. America has a system that's set up that ain't nobody going to do too much. Please understand this, guys.
Joe Biden did that with the crime bill.
Absolutely.
That's the only change that we have.
Ain't nobody going to do too much. Please understand that. What happened to Kennedy when he was trying to do too much? He went immediately home to Christ. And then his brother trying to do too much. Went home to Christ. And Dr. King, where did he go? Home to Christ. And Malcolm, where? Home to Christ. So stop. We're better now. But if you cross the line, we got to do better in the way we engage. There are a lot of idiots. There are people who go to college and smoke cigars at bars in Lake Mary that are idiots.
You know what's really funny, though?
I'm sorry. I didn't.
You know what's really funny? I find it humorous.
That's what you're going to call it?
Yes.
Okay.
The humorous. That people who like to regurgitate that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, they find it okay to go through all types of channels to make sure that there's not an opponent on the ballot. They find it okay to make sure that
hey, that's me, y'all. That's me. I'm making that noise.
Every legal maneuver possible to make sure that he ends up in jail and not on the ballot. And now we see another maneuver to take out his life to make sure he's not on the ballot. But a part of what we love about America is the fact that we get to hear policies that are advocated to help the people. We get to hear 2 different positions, and then the people get to vote.
Only 2 now.
We get to hear 2 different positions.
Only 2.
And then the people get to decide who they think will serve their best interest.
One of our listeners just posted a message, Glenn, and Glenn said Trump used those terms. He said he would be a dictator. Glenn, Trump said that, but go look at the context. You didn't see the context, Glenn. I know you got a radio show every morning. You talk to a bunch of ignorant-ass black people on your radio show, son. I was over there with you for a long time. Go read the context. Don't get sucked in. I know you talk about Jesus from 6 to 10 over there with them Negroes, but go look at the context. You didn't look at the context. Trump did say it. I thought it was ridiculous that he would even use the term dictator. He was wrong for using it, but if you go look at the context, that is not what it meant.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks so much.
And what he was referring to.
They ain't never going to let me come back over there.
You're done.
I'm through with them. I've been through with them Negroes for years. Anyway.
And what he was referring to.
I did that for free.
And what he was referring to is something that all of them use. Every president do. And it's the use of executive orders. And that was what he was referring to.
Yeah, but again, Trump.
The use of executive orders.
Trump says,
every president
Trump
does
take
it.
it and run.
Trump,
whatever it sounds like.
Trump says, dictator. I wish Trump would shut his mouth every day. And I hope
agree.
tonight, after this, I hope this speech is the best Trump speech he's ever given, because I hope it's calm and it's bringing the country together. But for those people who has made a living or regurgitational conversation.
Regurgitational conversation.
I just made that up.
Seriously,
I just made that up.
Put it on a shirt.
Look, I'm very serious though, for real, because I remember when I first saw that, I was like, man, Trump dumbass out here talking about dictatorship. And guess what I did?
You got to go read.
And guess what I did, D'Amico, remember?
Yes.
And what I say when I came, I was like, oh, that ain't what he was saying.
Yeah.
But again, you got to listen, because but Trump's got to be better too.
Hey, but
he's got to be, because what happens is when you know you got people out here looking at everything you say,
looking for something.
You got to be careful with your words.
I agree.
Okay? Now, he shouldn't have to be, because in a great, amazing world, you'd have a bunch of readers and researchers following you. Let's repeat that.
In an amazing world.
In an amazing world, you got some researchers and readers. But these people ain't reading. And especially, I want to say this, and y'all could cut me off and not subscribe and like if you want to. Subscribe and like, I really need the help. Shout out to my Panhandle friends. Shout out to Katie. Shout out to all of my friends in the Panhandle. Pap Albert in Florida, Alabama, and all my friends who've offered to support this broadcast. Let me just say this, guys. Subscribe and like, subscribe and like. Listen to this. There are going to be people say Don Miller on there cooning. And he just cooning for them white folk. Guess what? Don Miller going to get his black ass in that Buick every night and go home. In that Buick. And he ain't going to listen, you follow me? I ain't out here cooning for nobody. I'm saying y'all need a message. Because them bogus ass preachers y'all sitting on there ain't giving y'all the right message. They ain't giving you the right message. The message right now is the country needs to come together. And I can tell you right now, if a race war started in 6 minutes, the Negro community is wiped out. I'm just telling y'all right now. We ain't got enough stuff, Sean. Huh?
You got enough what?
Stuff. We ain't got enough guns, Sean.
What?
No, we don't, Sean. No, man. We got some, because everybody in the black community done pushed the thugs away. The thugs feel not loved. Now the thugs moving toward Trump. Yes, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy, BGD, Black Gangster Disciple, Chicago, South Side, Big Mike. I love you, bro. Mike say, man, we was all at the clubhouse the other night last week watching you and Miss D'Amica, man. He said, Miss D'Amica married. I said, no, she ain't married, but she way taller than you. But let me just say this. The thugs, that hood element, is who's embracing Trump.
He's one of them. He's
Listen
one
to
of
me.
them now.
Not them Negroes with them education, okay? The hood element is embracing Trump. Go look. And I guess it's hard for them to go look. You know why? Because they don't know them. They don't know these people, man. I was just shout out to I saw my boy on Kaylee in Westmoreland today. He was like, Mr. Don, man, we miss you, man. No, I'm back. He said, but I ain't got all that internet stuff. He said, I had a radio. He said, when I was in the joint, we had a radio, Mr. Don. Shout out to our friends at Coleman Federal Penitentiary. D'Amica get a gang of mail from there. They love D'Amica Page, man.
They need a D'Amica calendar.
But the point I make is this. If you look at who is gravitated toward Trump's conversation, it's a lot of the people that you would be least likely to think that they would gravitate toward Trump's conversation. And the reason behind that is these people read people, man. Mm-hmm. Big Mike, 49 years old. Big Mike been down 20. Big Mike, he reads people. Mm-hmm. Big Mike's a reader of people, man. He hit me up. I was like, how you get my number? He talking about, I asked your cousin, Kat. No, I asked your cousin. And then she told me to ask your other cousin. Finally, he got my number. Big Mike been gone 24 years. He got out April of this year. He said, man, I love what you doing, man. He said, remember I tried to get you to smoke weed and you said, I ain't never going to smoke no weed. I want to graduate. Well, Big Mike, I just want to tell you I love you, man, but it still didn't graduate. Okay? The point I make is this. If you look at who in the black community is gravitated toward Trump, it's really not the educated blacks. And explain that to me articulately. Tell me why the educated blacks continue to support the guy whose policies were anti-Negro historically, but the guys who took the banging and the rap, Crack versus Powder, 3 Strikes, written by Joe Biden. Why are they saying, don't trust this guy? But why are the educated blacks, and many of you Negroes, man, I'm on hard times right now. I ain't going to have no friends when I get off of this bitch. Many of Negroes, right, went to not HBCUs, but HAPUs, HAPUs, Hope and Pray Universities. When your mama drop you off at a school with a 22% graduation rate, when the acceptance rate at your school exceeds 94%, that's a Hope and Pray University. Anybody can go there, but anybody can't graduate. You follow me? Yeah. When your mama drop you off at a school, the graduation rate is 20%. Do not talk to me. I'm sorry, because that's a happy. That's a hope and pray. Because she hoped and prayed every day for you. Because you couldn't go nowhere else. And every odd was against you. And if you don't think it's important to go and look why those things were stacked against you and who was the catalyst behind stacking things against the Negro from 1973 to the 90s. And for the black people in California who were incarcerated in record number for marijuana a few years ago. Who was the attorney general in California who incarcerated more Negroes than 5 governors combined? Anybody know?
Kamala Harris.
Okay. And for you clowns that think she's with y'all because she put on some pink and green or some pearls or some terrible ass Chuck Taylors. Chuck Taylors is the reason why I walk funny. There ain't no shoe cheaper in America than a Chuck Taylor. My arch was messed up for years because that's all I could wear.
You have to put arch supporters.
Ain't
in
no
them.
the arch support cost more than the Chuck.
Yeah,
Fuck out of here.
yeah, true.
Phil, you hear me, man? Put the phone number up, Phil. Let's take some calls, man.
Get two pair of
man,
Chucks.
we love y'all so much, man. We gotta take some calls. We gotta get some money too, man. I can't afford this after this week. In 2 more weeks, I'm gonna be back on the street. I'm gonna be back on the street at the flea market selling pickles and hot peppers.
Hey, man. I'll be there with you.
They like,
I'll
Mr.
be
John, man,
I'll be outside flipping the sign for
You're
you.
gonna be out, pickles and hot peppers, pickles and hot peppers. You know, we out here. Listen, man, we don't want to ask for money, but we want to ask for money tonight in the name of Jesus. Bow our heads.
Oh,
and
don't do that. I won't be a part of that.
Oh, okay, but we do need some help. We do need some help. We do need some damn help now. Phil ain't cheap, and I'm fine with him not being cheap because all his stuff work. Okay, all his stuff work. We have never come in here, D'Amico, and Phil's stuff didn't work. We just had Glenn just hit us up. Hey, Glenn, we love you, bro. But I was over there with Glenn them. How long?
2 years, 3 years.
And they stuff didn't work most of the
Way
time.
longer than that.
They stuff didn't work most of the time, but Glenn was a Viking. Glenn always fixed the problem. I love you, man. And I just wish he was taking care of better over there.
I've been trying to get him to come over here.
I'm telling you, man, Glenn will be a boss. Let me see what you just put up there, man. I ain't see it.
He laughing. He was a laughing
Glenn will
face.
be a boss, man.
All right, we
Glenn
got a
will be a
phone call
boss,
here.
man. I love you, Glenn.
All right, you're live on the air. Who's this?
This is Lazy Prodigy. How y'all doing today?
Hey, how you doing, man? What's your name?
Lazy Prodigy.
My name is Lazy.
Lazy Prodigy, man. Oh, damn. Hey,
Hey,
Lazy.
Hey,
Where you calling from?
Texas.
What's going on? What you want to say, Lazy?
Nice.
No, I just wanted to answer your question. I wanted to answer in a simple word, in a simple sentence. Blind men can read too.
Okay. I don't know what you're
You
talking
know
about.
what I'm saying?
Blind men
Cause-
Blind men
can
read too.
Because it's called Braille, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So they're handed whatever they're handed, they're going to regurgitate.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I hear what you're saying. All right. Thank you so much,
You know what I'm
Lazy.
saying?
Lazy, can you hit us up with a blessing? Because you got money. Please send us some money,
A little
man.
bit.
You can keep us on
Send me the
the
cash
run,
up.
What part of Texas you from?
You know, Lazy.
Also right now.
Oh man, listen.
That's
I
lazy.
want to go out to Austin.
Yeah, he
man.
in Austin.
Yeah, I'm trying to go out there, man.
Lazy, we love you, man.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. All right, man.
Hey, Lazy,
Love y'all.
send us a blessing, man. I put you on Monkey Shoulder. You know, don't be acting like you don't remember.
All right, man. Say less.
I bought you a big ass Ford pickup truck too. Rolled over there right with you. All right, got some boots too. Remember that? Remember, bless me. Thank you, man. All right, give us a call. Hey, what's the number again?
352-717-4071.
Yeah, we need. I ain't trying to be funny. What's amazing what's amazing to me, guys, and I want to run to something else real quick. We only got an hour because that's all we can afford with Phil. He's very expensive.
Oh my.
Really, this is high giraffe vagina.
So let me ask you this real quick. What's next? Because the attempt was just an attempt. It wasn't successful. So what's next? The new pandemic.
No, let me just say something. I'm not gonna do all that. I just do a podcast. I'm trying to rub these people the wrong way. I just want to say this. It's very important. We are in a very difficult time. And I think people would understand this if they just take a minute and pay attention. It's right in front of you. Have you ever seen anybody come at like this? What was the last guy? They didn't come at Barack Obama like this. And there were a bunch of white folk that didn't want Barack Obama. But they just said he wasn't an American. He's an African. He don't know his daddy. I could agree with all that for Don Miller. I don't know my daddy. Might be African. I don't know. My mom was kind of handling business back in the day. But the point I make is this.
And you know they claim all the KKKs woke
Yes.
up when President Obama
Yeah,
came
right.
into
But guess
office,
what? He still
allegedly.
won. And then nobody
nobody
tried
tried
to do nothing to him. Right? Think about this. If America was that bad in terms of that, nobody tried to do nothing to him. Help me with this one. You told me that Barack Obama was the most hated president of all time, but not one assassination attempt. Tell me, am I missing something? Huh? Right?
He
All
had
I'm
better,
saying-
protection. He was carrying out their
he had
their agenda well.
Absolutely, but the point is,
All right,
but
we
the
got a call,
point.
Don.
Let's take this phone call.
All right, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Glenn Allgood. How y'all doing?
Oh, Glenn Hogan, I love you, man. I told you, man.
Man, I love you, man.
You need
Listen.
pack your grip and come on over here.
I do. But the show looks beautiful. Y'all look real good. He got y'all looking good. He high end. That's why he costs so much.
Man, he called, man, this dude high giraffe vagina. You know how you ever seen a giraffe vagina? You got to look way up.
Man, I love you. I can't even get mad at you because you crazy as hell. You funny, man.
I'm
You
your
got me
friend. I'm
cracking
your
up,
friend, dog. I'm your real friend.
Man, I love you.
Man, I love you.
You my real friend. Listen. Can we go back to Joe? I told y'all 2 years ago that Joe was bad for us. I told y'all he was bad TV, and I told y'all
Hey, wait.
he was gonna run us.
Not only did you say it.
America deserves better than Joe, and America deserves better than Donald Trump. Too. And you know
Wait,
it. y'all.
wait.
You
Hold
know
on,
it too,
wait.
Janika.
No, we can't.
You know it.
We're not going to fight with you on that. Mm-hmm. Okay? So please understand, you told me, and the Christian folk at the church got mad at you.
I told you.
You sure did.
They
They were
did.
like Glenn Allgood over there and Don Miller and rubbed off on him. Remember that? Because you said Joe wasn't well. He wasn't well. And he's not well.
Yeah,
And my problem is this. We got to do better.
What?
We got to do better, dog.
Yeah. But Glenn, the only thing but I've never said that I disagree with that. However, if when you're not looking at personality, because from a personality standpoint, it's a lose-lose. However,
What about character?
And some of that as well. However, see, the difference between you and I and Don is that we value the policies more than you value the policies. That's the only difference.
Mm-hmm.
We never said that Donald Trump got a mouth that needs to be shut on most occasions. We never said that he don't choose his way. We've never disagreed with that. You know, we've always been straight. However, we value the policies more than you value them. And that's the only deciding factor at this moment. We think that having open borders
So
and
we have to give up our dignity. We got to give up our dignity for policy.
Yeah,
Give up our dignity. This guy, come on, Don.
So who, Glenn? Let me ask you.
This is the same guy. This is
Glenn,
the same guy that took the photo out with the Bible at the church.
Glenn, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you. Calm down.
What?
Calm down. Let me ask you a question.
What did they use on the
You
inauguration
said,
day?
Hold on. You said.
All right.
You asked, do we have to give up our dignity?
Do we have to give
for
up our
poly?
dignity?
So let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Should a woman give up her dignity to be called something other than a woman? Should a woman give up her dignity to have a man come into the bathroom because he identifies as a woman? Because Joe Biden,
Oh, God.
listen, because Joe Biden decided to change what Title IX looks like. He decided to change that verbiage. So is it okay for us to give up our dignity over policy? Help me with that one. Help me with that one. Because that's not fair,
That's
Glenn.
different.
Because that's not fair.
It's not fair, but we're all Americans. We're all Americans. Can we all get along?
Glenn.
So
Can we do
serious.
this together?
How you say that when
This
you-
is the thing.
But
This is
Glenn,
the thing.
those
This is the thing. You know
policies,
what?
those policies are affecting people. It may not affect you because you're a man, but those policies are affecting people.
And the reason why he's so good when he gets in is because everybody gets on board when he gets in, when he's in office. All business gets on board with it. And so we're doing good.
With who?
When Trump is in office.
Again.
He gets the economic engine
Okay,
running.
Glenn, listen to me. Let me tell
Who don't want the economic engine running?
Glenn, you want another vaccine?
You know, come on.
No, I'll tell you who don't want it. People who don't know what it is.
There you go.
You got to understand. There are people, and this hit me the other day. Shout out to Real Rap Kane. This hit me the other day. People who don't want it don't know what a good life look like. Now in the hood, they're starting to see and they're starting to gauge. Okay, Felicia Richardson, Project 2025. I appreciate you hitting me with that because I broke it down and I studied it the other day. And there's a Project 25 conversation out there. So I, as a former dude, where did I go every Monday for 6 years, D'Amica? On U.S. Air, you booked the ticket. Where did I go every week?
Oh, to D.C.?
To do what? To engage in political discourse for years, right?
Yes.
And who did I take to dinner every night for nights and nights and nights and nights? Politicians. And there were nights when I was at the table with the angry Democrat and the angry Republican, and we were drinking the same scotch, having the same conversation. And listen to me, and I did not know this till I got there. I didn't know this till I got there. I was just like some of the rest of the people who I thought, man, this is, until I went to dinner one night and the people fighting on the House floor were sitting at the table with me. And we were at Old Ebbett Grill in D.C. And I paid the bill that night. And I said to myself on my way back to the hotel, this is politics, not politics. They like each other. And the American people don't know they like each other, D'Amica. D'Amica, you've been with me for a long time.
Mm-hmm. One of the congressmen that you took out frequently, I can't remember verbatimly, but she said there are no common enemies, but common interests or something to that effect. Do you remember what she used to say all the time?
Yeah, that was Corinne Brown. She went to prison.
You liked
She went to prison.
You love calling names.
No, Corinne Brown went to prison, right? No. Corinne Brown went to prison, and Corinne Brown benefited significantly from the game she played, okay? Shout out to Cedric, man. You're right, Cedric. The hood is embracing Trump, right? But they don't know because all these Negroes they got at these microphones ain't been in the hood. I was going to go to Miss Kim's today, but it was 400 Negroes out front. I'm telling you right now about Miss Kim, man. Listen to me, guys. Subscribe and like. I need help. We ain't going to be able to do this. I only got enough money for 4 more shows. Okay?
3.5.
3.5, right, yeah. Sean rode over here on the back of a 67 Harley, okay? He still got the wind beat your face up. You look light-skinned like a mug. Last week you was dark-skinned.
Light-skinned, man. I'm dark right now.
No, but for real, I just want to talk about Project 25 really quickly. Project 25, and when I first read about Project 25, guys, I want you to hear me on this real quick. I reached out to some people in the Trump campaign, and I happen to know people. I hate doing this because a lot of these people be like, Don Miller just a name dropper. No, just because my friends know somebody and yours don't mean I'm dropping names. Remember, I had to tell somebody, Don, drop name. No, don't nobody know your friends. Everybody know mine. Okay? And they were like, Don, President Trump ain't attached to Project 25. That came out of a think tank. And as soon as they saw it, the think tank was ridiculous for dropping it at the time they dropped it. But he done said, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. First of all, if you read that, first of all, most of that ain't going down. But the fact is, every week it's got to be something. So my liberal friends, and I got some of y'all gonna be gone by the end of the week, okay? Please go read it, and then see the problem is I I remember Mr. Willie Johnson. I'll never forget Mr. Willie Johnson. He had a gold tooth in the middle. He worked at the barbershop. I love Mr. Willie. Mr. Willie say, Donnie? Because you know me for real. You know me. You call me Donnie. Felicia Richardson, Chicago. Love you, baby girl. That's my friend. I was 13 years old. I had a crush on her, but she didn't like me. She just said, hey. She didn't like me at all. She liked the light-skinned dude with the good hair. All right. And so he say, Donnie, he say, this is the problem. He say, Republicans have Democrat friends. Democrats don't have Republican friends.
I've heard that as well.
Huh? And the problem is you can't really have these conversations fairly if you sitting around a bunch of the same people in the same mindset and the same ideology. You got to kind of be a little more comfortable going outside of your box. You got to step outside. This is not a movement to support Donald Trump. Please hear me. This is a movement to support the present candidate. Because one of them ain't president. I'm telling you right there, I'm not. One of these dudes running for president ain't here. Tamika?
I agree.
And if you think it's okay to support the non-present candidate when America is in crisis, like we in crisis. I know y'all, most of these,
and his own party wants him.
Most of them don't even read. Most of y'all don't even read. They don't know why tell me why we in the Ukraine. Tell me why. Tell me the historical relationship with the Ukraine and America. Tell me this.
Hey, Sparky.
Tell me why we are giving money, watch this, in record number to Israel right now. If you can't break this down and explain to me.
But we forgot about Hawaii, right?
If you can't break it down and explain to me, just don't talk to me about it. Just say hi, keep it moving. Robbie, I love you. Robbie told me the other day, he said, tell me what's again when you want to get rid of people. I said, say, hey, good to see you, good to see you. Say it twice, that means keep it moving. Robbie's like, dude, how do I get rid of people I don't want to talk to? Good to see you, good to see you. Keep it moving. Hit your head back. You got to nod back. Like,
Yeah.
Huh? Am I right?
Yeah. You can't keep talking after you do
No,
the
you
head
got to
nod.
put the head nod.
Yeah,
That means
then you
peace,
gotta
peace
go.
out, right? The fact of the matter is we are engaged in a lot of scenarios that we shouldn't even be in. We have a crisis in America. The attempted murder of President Trump. I still call any guy who's been president, I still call him president. I got friends that ain't been judges for 10, 15 years. I still call them judge. I recognize people's achievement. We got people who got doctorate degrees from Tri-State universities.
Yeah.
And I still
Honoraries.
I still call them doctor. I want to shout y'all out. I don't know if I told you this. I am currently, D'Amica gonna get mad. Quetta told me not to tell you this. Kwanzaa told me not to tell y'all that I'm an ordained minister now.
All right. Low.
$89. It took me 10 minutes to sign up. I'm going to get it in the mail. I'm going to put it right behind me on the Don Miller Show, my plaque. I got a nice little frame came with it.
Make sure I'm not here when you post it.
But that's the game that's being played. So somebody said, why you call him President Trump? Because he's President Trump. President Obama is still President Obama. President Ford.
People still refer to President Bush.
President Bush is still President Bush. Both of them. The fact is, stop it. But I want to hit something real quick. So the shooting was devastating to America. And I don't think poor people, disenfranchised people, understand the magnitude of what that could have looked like to them. Just listen to me for a minute. Early in the year, Benny Thompson sponsored legislation, Phil, to take away the Secret Service
Of Donald Trump.
Donald Trump don't need no Secret Service. Phil, you got that legislative order? He said, look at this. House bill. What House bill is that?
Can you read it?
Yeah, that he sponsored a bill that Donald Trump didn't need Secret Service. Never in the history of America
As a former president.
been denied Secret Service, right? But Benny Thompson, who's an old-ass black man from a small town in Mississippi, who is most coontastic Negro. Well, no, Jim Clyburn is the most coontastic Negro I've ever met. But Benny Thompson right up on him, right? That you sponsor legislation because you disagree with this man, that you want to take his security away because you're not smart enough to understand that almost how many millions of Americans support him? But that don't mean nothing to you because you so caught up in doing the masses' work. Damn, I didn't want to do that on this damn show tonight. You so caught up in doing the masses' work, cooning. Disagree with Donald Trump. Don't like him. Say he's a POS. Call him what you want to call him. But to sponsor a bill to take away his Secret Service? Come on, man. Help me. Who are these people? How have we gotten here? Benny Thompson, I have no respect for you. You're an old-ass black man who was in Mississippi. And it had not been for the Jews, okay, and the whites who came to Mississippi during the struggle in Mississippi. If you think that Emmett Till's conversation became a national story because some black people, no, it didn't. It was white folk who went to Mississippi. If you think the 3 young Jewish guys who went to Mississippi, Schwerner, who went to Mississippi to protest what was going on and were murdered by the same racist ass KKK that killed Negroes. If you don't remember what happened to Medgar Evers, same year, 1968, Kennedy, Evers, and MLK. Mm-hmm. And then Benny Thompson, old-ass black man from the deep South, Bolden, Mississippi. Man, if you don't take your old ass somewhere and sit down, y'all wrong, man. Maxine Waters, I'm sorry, Congresswoman Waters. Come on now. And then Felicia says never been a president in the history of America that's been a felon. Okay? You're right, because they all had it wiped out. Richard Nixon was a felon. That was a felony conviction with Felicia Richardson, if you recall. I don't know if Felicia Richardson recall who Richard Nixon was because she grew up in the same mindset I grew up, at the same school I grew up. They didn't teach us that. I learned this as a grown-ass black man trying to grow up.
And they're calling Trump a felon for the same thing that Bill Clinton did, right?
Absolutely.
And Bill Clinton
but
actually,
guess
they
what?
went online.
The fact is they never...
Felicia, look that up, Felicia.
They never prosecuted a president before. So how about they never prosecuted? Richard Nixon orchestrated a burglary, which is a felony, called Watergate. Anybody am I making that up, Phil? Phil, you over there?
I'm here.
Was Watergate a felony?
Yes.
It was a burglary. And guess what happened? They didn't charge Richard Nixon, and they knew he did it. We knew he did it. If you go look at the history of engagement politically, presidents have always had the ability to kind of go in a different direction.
And never in the history of America have we tried to incarcerate a president to keep him from running, to keep him off the ballot.
But listen, Felicia Richardson, I love you so much.
People are just too far with the news. They go home, the first thing they want to do is turn on the news. What does the news want me to be? What does the news want me to say? They don't know how to think for themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes just follow your
Watch
let
this.
the, people, let the people vote.
Listen to me. Let me say something.
I don't know why
they always got away with it.
They
always got away with it because the system was structured for presidents to have immunity. Look at the Supreme Court last week. Anybody know what happened at the Supreme Court last week? Listen to me. Hillary Clinton was I ain't going to do this. But let me just say this, guys.
Hillary did much of the same thing that Donald Trump has been accused of, but they didn't prosecute
Joe Biden
her.
had records at his house behind his Corvette. We saw the pictures, but they said he was too old to go after. So please stop it with that. Just say, hey, I don't like Trump because I don't like him and I'm a Democrat. You know, I like Democrats, whatever. Just stop trying to, if you don't study this. I am so tired of people who ain't read none running up on me with this nonsense, man. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And it ain't because I'm smarter than anybody else. Because when people sleeping and snoring at 4:30 in the morning, my insomniac ass is doing what, D'Amica Page? I'm reading something. I'm studying something.
And texting us.
And texting y'all. I text them. Whole time I text y'all. 4:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Hey, D'Amica, I ever text you at 4:30 in the morning?
Maybe. I was probably asleep.
I ever text you?
Yep.
Absolutely. The point is, stop, guys. I get it. You don't like people. You don't like politics. You don't like people's position. But at the end of the day, we trying to raise some money to stay on the radio. So can you do us a favor?
Oh, my gosh.
We getting ready to do this. We need help, okay? Tell somebody we need help. We ain't going to hit y'all up today, but this the last day of free radio, okay? Next week, I'm going to drop Cash Apps and Venmos and Zelles, and I'm going to have a special running. I'm going to have a stripper in the studio next week. D'Amica ain't going to be here. We're going to have a stripper. She going to dance for 10 minutes. Okay, we're gonna have 10 minutes worth of stripper. We're gonna charge you $5 a minute. That's $50 for the Don Miller Show.
It's called politics. Politics.
So now you got fans only.
Politics. Politics. What you say?
Fans only now. The Don Miller
Don
Show.
Miller Show. Fans only.
page.
What's it called? No, it's fans only. It's only fans.
Only fans.
You so saved.
Right.
Only voters. Only
Only voters.
Clearly,
Only
I don't
voters.
watch it.
Listen, next week we're gonna make a major change. I want to give everybody a heads up. We're gonna go to 2 hours. We only did a preemptive 7 o'clock show today because the president's getting ready to probably go speak in a minute. D'Amica like, I don't know how. D'Amica's gonna be. No. I got enough money to put the equipment at your house.
Okay.
Okay.
We're having this conversation
On the way. I got enough money. I want to
You
shout
telling
out.
me what we're getting ready to do.
I got enough money.
On live.
Okay. I got enough money to put the equipment at your house. Thanks to our friends at High Reach. We got to put that on the screen. High Reach. High Reach is an amazing company led by my buddy Lance. We got enough money to put you on the screen from the house. You got to bring your ass in, though. You down the street. You straight shot.
Yeah.
You just come one street.
Yep.
Okay, I appreciate you coming down. We need a light-skinned person on the show.
here.
They got his light-skinned ass right between us. Look, that's cute as hell. Like an Oreo cookie. He light-skinned as hell. Just say hi. Listen, thank you so much, everybody, man. We love you so much. Follow us. How do they follow you? Go ahead, tell them.
D'Amica page on all platforms.
The D'Amica
page.
Paige.
Phil, can't you put that up there?
Yeah, D'Amica Page. Hurry up. Take a picture with your phone real quick. D'Amica Page at D'Amica.page on all platforms. Or just D'Amica Page. You're going to see her in a red bathing suit on some of them. How can they follow you, homie?
Is that what you're doing?
Lil Sean.
Lil Sean on there on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
Appreciate you guys. And shout out to everybody who, either texted in or called in. Felicia, everybody.
Yeah,
whether
man,
they got the same view or different views, that's what we welcome. On
First
the
of all,
show,
listen to me. Felicia
Appreciate that,
Richardson was my first crush. Her grandma used to cook sandwiches for us, and I love her. She know I take shots at everybody. But I want everybody, hey, look, I got Jay Kane going to come in the next few weeks. Real Rap Kane, follow Real Rap Kane. He's very aggressive, but he's a smart guy, and I love his position on many of the issues, so he's going to be joining us. We're just going to bring our friends back. We just got to raise enough money. We're going to offer at the church Sunday. They're going to have a special offering at the church for the Don Miller Show. My plug is running discounts. He's going to give 10% back to the Don Miller Show if you go to my plug. Shout out to my plug, Xantavia C. Johnson from Edenville, Florida.
Low.
What'd you say?
Lord Reverend. Reverend Jenkins. That's what I make sure you go check
Reverend
out.
Jenkins. Also, Reverend Jenkins at the church, he got a testimony. He said, if you share your testimony this Sunday, only this Sunday, he's going to kick back 10% to the Don Miller Show, but you got to have an amazing testimony.
Wow, you paying for testimony?
Yeah.
We got to shout out his church, though. There's Reverend Jenkins over at the First Baptist Catholic Seventh-day Adventist Buddhist Evangelical Church of Latter-day Saints in South Pine Hills.
It's at South Pine Hills.
South Pine.
I think that's where Phil go. Okay. But again, thank you so much. Follow the Don Miller Show on all platforms. We love you so much. It's gonna get better. Thank you so much. We wanted to do a preemptive real hit. Listen, I just want to make sure everybody watch President Trump's conversation tonight. Watch his speech.
Lord,
I just hope he just
calm.
brings this country together.
Don't
I
do no
believe it.
extra.
I believe he's gonna do
Don't
it.
do
I
no
believe he's
extra.
gonna show up and show out. We need show
I
up
hope
and
so.
show out. We need to bring the country together. I'm glad he's okay. I just want the country to come together. We need it more than anything else. We are in a crisis time. Listen, I just want to say I don't need my income no more fixed than it is. So please, let's go out. Let's be supportive of each other. listen to each other. Hear people out. Don't get mad because they don't agree with you. And listen, if you white, get a black friend. If you black, get a white friend. That's real talk.
Right.
Okay? Because if you a grown-ass black person, my age, and you ain't got a white friend, or if you a grown-ass white person, my age, and you ain't got a black friend, you done lived a ragged-ass life anyway. Okay? It might be too late, huh, D'Amico? Might be too late, Sean.
No, never
Might be too late, Phil.
Never too late.
Nah, never too late.
Hey, the podcast doctor, love you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
I wish you would lower your prices so we could be on here longer. But in the name of
You take snap.
in the name of Allah the Beneficent, man, we gonna be all right, man. We just gonna keep on moving up and yonder until things get better for us. Thank you so much, everybody. Follow us on all platforms. Don Miller, D'Amica Page, Lil Sean on air, D'Amica Page, D'Amica.page, DEMICA. Don Miller on every platform. Send me a message, y'all. Hey, I'm going to send y'all my Cash App. The Cash App blocked me because you can't keep Cash App with $3 in your account. But I'm going to do all right. I'm going to be all right. Headed to the Buick, headed to drink. Bye-bye, everybody.